Hiya, I'm that random card counter. It's the month of May, meaning this month is a celebration of A-1 Pictures' birthday or founding. There are similar studios founded during May, but for now it's A-1 Pictures' time to shine. Today I am reviewing the first season of Kaguya-sama, Love is War, an anime done under A-1 Pictures, adapted from the manga by Akasaka, released during winter 2019. Now, without further ado, let's get this review started. Now, first off, we're going to start with the story. Kaguya and Miyuki want to date, but are too stubborn and prideful to admit that they want to date. So they want to play mind games with each other to see who asks out who first. To ask the other first is considered weakness. If I ask her out first, it means weakness and exploitation, and vice versa. To ask out someone first without hesitation will only make the power struggle in a relationship difficult, at least according to their logic. Their friends are definitely chaotic forces that make it much more of a challenge with the love warfare and tactics. They help give Kaguya and Miyuki a push with their failed attempts. Who will make the first move? Who knows? I like that this story attempts to be somewhat fun with its premise of how dating or romance works in certain anime or manga, then twist the game of romance into mind games and love warfare. Stubbornness and pride really are a hell of a thing when it comes to asking someone out. I've never seen two characters so stubborn with the first move ever. Now let's continue with talking about the opening and ending song credits. These are my thoughts on them and what ones I prefer, or etc, etc. It's just all my thoughts. So first we're going to talk about opening number 1. Obviously it's the only opening in season 1, so that should make it easy. Love Dramatic featuring Rika Ihara by Masayuki Suzuki. An excellent and catchy opening song with excellent visuals to boot. I jammed out to it every episode and jam out to it again and again on repeat. I couldn't imagine this hilarious show without it. I wish we could hear more R&B and love songs in anime just like this one. Now, let's talk about the first ending song. It's called Sentimental Crisis by Halka. It has nice visuals and it sounds alright, but it's not exactly memorable in my opinion. It's good for background noise, I suppose. On the record, I played this ending for every episode that it was in. I did not skip it just to go to the next episode quickly enough. I listened to it to make sure I was getting a good analysis of it and a good feel for it in my own ways. So I'm not trying to be rude to those who might like this ending song, especially if I say that it isn't exactly memorable. If you like it, then that's cool. Nothing against you. Just literally me having trouble really remembering much about it or enjoying it as much as ending song number 2. So ending song number 2 is called Chikato Chika Chika, or the Chika dance song. It is cute as fuck. I would not mind if this was the main ending song. Chika's just a delightful character, and this ending song has everything I would expect from Chika and all her goofiness. It's such a cute dance that I couldn't take my eyes off of the screen. Plus it makes for such a funny meme, which can be found all on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Can be pretty much found anywhere. Now, my favorite, I would probably say out of all the songs featured for either opening or endings, my favorite was probably the opening song, Love Dramatic. And I can attest that it's my favorite to listen to because of how many times I've had this song on repeat when listening to it on YouTube. It's too fun not to listen to. And the Chika dance song would definitely come second place for me, just because I enjoyed it just as much. Now, let's move on to the soundtrack. Here are my thoughts on it. The soundtrack does a good job of setting the atmosphere for the show. The OST is extremely dramatic and over-the-top, but that fits perfectly as the show has to be one of the few over-the-top rom-com dramas I've ever seen, especially in anime. And if the song sounds like strategic planning is going down, it's because it is. There's rarely a time when Kaguya and Miyuki aren't strategizing a way to get a win over the other in a dramatic battle of love, victory, and defeat. The OST is perfect for the show. Now, my favorite ones from the OST have to be Skill innocence is in quotes, bluff, confession, indirect key, and consultation. They were my favorite ones in the original soundtrack. Feel free to list your favorites down below. Now it's time to talk about the characters. First off, let's talk about Kaguya Shinomiya. She is the vice president of the student council at Shuchin Academy. She is a wealthy daughter to the Shinomiya conglomerate group. Shinomiya Group has a huge net worth somewhere in the trillions. She's incredibly talented and smart. She can also have a sweeter and softer side to her that usually comes out when she's alone with her maid Hayasaka or when she happens to be sick, like really, really sick. And Hayasaka's like the one person she can be honest with, since she usually conceals most of her feelings behind the mask that she puts on when she's like in the student council and at the academy. She wants to go out with Miyuki, but much like Miyuki, she's prideful and would rather be the victor when it comes to this relationship. Alright, next off we're going to talk about Miyuki Shirogane. He's the president of the student council at Shuchin Academy, known for being studious and smart. Because of all his hard work and studying, he tends to be sleep deprived. He's earned his place at Shuchin Academy through hard work. He's at the top of his class at the academy, which in turn earned him a spot as the president of the student council. His eyes make him seem unpleasant or scary, and it makes his personality match when he really wants to put on a mask. He wants to go out with Kaguya, but much like Kaguya, he's too prideful and would rather be the victor rather than submitting to Kaguya. Now, let's talk about Chika Fujiwara. She is the secretary of the student council at Shuchin Academy. She was one of the first friends that Kaguya made. She's a big, lovable goofball, which is why we love her. She is one of the chaotic elements that come into play when Kaguya and Miyuki are doing their love warfare. She doesn't really happen to understand or know that Kaguya and Miyuki they're just doing all this strategizing. She just happens to be there for the ride. Now, let's move on to Yu Ishigami. He's the treasurer of the student council at Shuchin Academy. He's big into video games and anime. He doesn't exactly love doing his job at the student council, not because he isn't capable of crunching the numbers, but because Kaguya definitely terrifies him. I guess that's why some say the phrase, "if looks could kill." It definitely applies to his relationship with Kaguya as a fellow member of the council. Her looks are indeed scary. Now, who is my favorite character? In the end, after finishing Season 1, I can say that for sure Chika is my favorite character. But I think Ishigami comes a close second. Chika is very charming as a character, and I can see why so many people pin her as the fan favorite with this series, along with the title for Best Girls sometimes. Though I've also seen that the fandom, at least the ones that have read the manga, might say otherwise, but for now, this is just how it is in my opinion, just from my perspective of things so far. And Ishigami can be fun to watch as well, but Chika definitely holds more funny moments for me. Now, as for characters I can probably relate to the most, it would either be Kaguya or Miyuki. I summarized parts of each character since I would rather that anyone new to the series be able to fully enjoy what the series has to provide, rather than me revealing too much. Can't wait to see how the characters develop in Season 2 and how they develop throughout the manga. Now, let's talk about the art style. I really like how the manga translated to anime form. It works really well, and made some already funny panels from the manga even funnier. The anime director, Shinichi Omada, helped the artist translate the funny and over-the-top dramatic scenes well in the anime form. I think he deserves some credit with how well the scenes were translated. If you like his directing, you should check out Arakawa Under the Bridge and Showa Roku Rakugo Shinju. Those are some of the series that he helped greatly with when translating the manga to a storyboard and having the artist bring the story to life. The series has great art along with solid comedy. I found myself laughing my butt off. Thanks for doing such a great job with the storyboard and animation to this series. It was done wonderfully. Now let's give this review of this anime a proper rating. After watching this series, I give Kaguya an 8.5 out of 10. I cannot recommend this series enough. It should be a blast for new anime watchers and can certainly be enjoyed by anyone who loves the rom-com genre. It can even be enjoyed by older, more veteran anime watchers. I cannot wait until I get around to watching season 2, especially once delays stop occurring due to the current climate of things. Now, would I buy it? Hell yeah! I'd love to have this series for myself, but of course with it being distributed by Aniplex, it might just be a bit on the pricey side, even with Aniplex having a joint deal with Funimation. I might just try to buy it directly from Japan at an easier price, or better yet, I could just stream it through Crunchyroll or Funimation, if I was desperate. Crunchyroll is probably the preferred streaming for people who live in the US. Now, if you're really interested in the series, where can you buy it? You can buy it through Aniplex, you can watch it through Crunchyroll, Funimation, you can watch it through Netflix or Amazon Prime in select countries, and if you're really bored after catching up on the manga in Season 2, then there's also a live action you can check out. It's not too bad. I still love the anime form better, but they definitely did nicely here, too. Now, let's start to conclude the video. Here are some recommendations on series you can look at as you wait for the rest of Kaguya to finish up, as it's on delays, and just in case you finish up the series and want something else to watch afterwards. Recommendation number 1, Daily Girls Nozaki-kun. Funny Yonkoma series adapted into an anime. It focuses on Shio's efforts to get Nozaki to notice her. The series also focuses on the process of how manga is created. The hilarious shenanigans the characters get into really help make this show a blast to watch. This is probably the biggest reason why I can't help but recommend it after you've watched Kaguya-sama. The comedy hits in almost the same way as Kaguya-sama does. Recommendation number 2, Suzure Children. Series runs the story in a similar format as Kaguya-sama. However, instead of looking at it with one couple trying to get together, there's multiple couples featured in the anime trying to get together. Its humor and romance qualities are just as hilarious to watch as in Kaguya-sama, but it might hit different from person to person. Recommendation number 3, School Rumble, a series that Aka Akasaka was inspired by when creating Kaguya-sama. Much like Kaguya-sama, this series is chock full of misunderstandings and wild attempts from the main character to confess their feelings to their crushes. I love the comedy in School Rumble, it's just a blast to watch. Tenma and Kenji aren't exactly the most tactical bunch when it comes to their attempts at confessing, Kenji to Tenma and Tenma to Karasuma, whereas Kaguya-sama has Miyuki and Kaguya being more strategic in their attempts to get the other to confess, even in the outcome of failure. Now, those are it for my recommendations. I didn't recommend 4 anime this time, I recommended 3. I'm going to probably stick with just recommending 3 for every series that I review, just so that my video doesn't drag out like it's doing right now. Well, here's the outro. Thanks for watching if you got this far. I hope you enjoyed my review. See ya, and go catch that good anime!